might get a little weird. There we go. You still haven't told me if you like it or not. Versus 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, however many more. Ooh. What's up, everybody? Today, we're getting a little sticky with it. How sticky? It depends on how much of a mess you make in the kitchen. No, simply, we're using one of the new Monin flavors, spicy watermelon margarita. Now, if you get this and you smell it from out of the bottle, you're gonna get a lot of jalapeno. However, when you taste it, it's a beautiful balance that just bounces around on your palate. So, let me stop wasting time and let's get to it. First thing into the pot, we're going to use 75 grams of turbinado sugar plus 42 grams of gelatin. Swirl those up a little bit. Now, if you've never used turbinado sugar, it adds a nice depth of flavor to whatever you're using it with because it has trace elements of molasses. It'll give you a nice caramel flavor to whatever you add it to. And it works really well with watermelon, any of the pie flavors, you name it. Get creative. We've stirred that up. Now we need the scale. I'm back-to-back recording right now, so might get a little weird. Next, we need 225 grams of corn syrup. You see that? Oh, it's beautiful, ain't it? Perfection, unlike myself. Next into the pot, 125 grams of applesauce, or 126. That's okay. Now comes the flavor. If you get this one, shake it up real good. This stuff uses real fruit juices, as you can see right there. So you want to give it a good stirring, a good shaking. We're going to use 3/4 of a cup. Half? 3/4? Well, 1/4. You know what I mean. Let's get rid of that scale. Now we stir it up. Color's a bit wonky, so we will be adding some red just to bring back that pink, fleshy color of watermelon. Easier to stir, but you can see there's some clumping going on. It's not the gelatin, it's just nothing's wanting to fully mend together. We wanted a pretty even consistency all across the board. Did I push record? Sure the heck hope so. There we go. Now to taste. Now this is the first time I'm using the syrup, so you're seeing it here first, folks. Ooh, delicious. But we need a little more watermelon. Oh man, it really is good. Now it's my first time using it as a gummy. However, when I opened it a couple days ago, when I received it in the mail, I ordered from Monin. They were having a great sale. Anyway, I tasted a capful and I was really surprised by how good it was. So now we're gonna add a little bit of this watermelon flavoring, probably 2 squirts. You know that's my thing, 2 squirts. 1, 2. We want to add a little bit of that sweetness back, but more importantly, that watermelon. And that's not to say you don't taste the watermelon in this syrup, because I do. I just know once I add everything else to it, we're gonna lose that a little bit in translation. So I like to be on the safe side and add more. Totally up to you. Do not have to do it. Taste number 2. Yes, perfect. So we're gonna leave this sit for that 7 to 10 minutes to allow this gelatin to bloom. And we're gonna put it on the heat. Fight fire with fire because it's spicy and we're putting it on the heat. Whatever. See you soon. And we will be using 2 ounces of liquid coconut oil with 1 level tablespoon scoop of lecithin granules. This is pre-melted down a little bit. This is after about an hour of sitting in this glass. That's why I like to let them sit overnight before putting it onto the double boiler, which I don't use this glass for the double boiler. I use a 6-inch glass bowl on a small little 1.5 quart pot. Maybe it's a 2 quart, I don't know. As well as 5 grams of cream of tartar with 4 pinches of malic acid. That's what we're doing. All right. All right, everybody. So this has been on the pot for about 8 minutes now, and it's time for the oil. As you can see, it's all nice and loosey-goosey. This is exactly where we want it before we add the oil. Like that. Pretty runny, right? So let me go grab that. And some gloves. And I'm back with the good stuff. There we go. Make sure you get it all in there. You want to use as much as you can. You don't want to waste that oil, right? And while I'm doing this, I'm going to add some red food coloring just to bring back a little bit of that color. Some of this right here. We're gonna go 6 drops. Sorry, normally I count that out loud. Wipe the tip and a whisk. All right, and we're going to continue stirring this 5, 6, 7, or more or less minutes. However long it takes, it's gonna take. So sit back and enjoy the ride. Don't worry, I'll skip through a bunch of this, unless you like it. You still haven't told me if you like it or not. I do get messages that some of you are missing the slow-mos. I'm sorry, I've got a third camera and I just need a tripod for it. However, everything that's going on in the background, there's a reason why I don't have that tripod yet. And it's a good reason. It's a fun reason. I gave you a little hint on my posts. Only a few of you have seen it. That's okay. I don't know how posts work on this dang platform anyway. However, hundreds of you have seen it on my Reddit. So, I don't know. If you've been on my Reddit, fantastic. Thank you for following along on both sides. Really does mean a lot to me. Anyway, I'll be quiet. I'm going to keep stirring. I'll see you in a little bit. I just had a thought, because the smell that's coming off here, I want to add a little bit more watermelon. Let's go 2 squirts. You know how I do it. 1, 2. Those are like half squirts. So 1 big squirt. We got it all over the handle. Dang it. So good. All right, I'm back to being quiet. Alright, it looks like the oil has been fully incorporated into the batch, so we're going to let this sit until it comes to that low simmering boil. Once that happens, we'll turn up the heat a little bit, we'll add the acids, we'll stir, stir, stir some more, and then it's time to pour, pour, pour. I'll see you soon. What do you call a dead antelope? Cantaloupe. Turning the heat up just a little bit because it's taking a little too long. See that? That was the skin people talk about. Oh, skim the skin off. No, look it. You're just gonna blend it right back in there, just like that. Okay, all right, okay. And then it'll melt, and it'll melt right back down. I don't know why I'm hung up on that. Okay, I just see some crazy advice, and I'm just like. One thing I will say, because this has a lot more water than it normally does. In fact, we rarely have water in my batches. We're gonna wanna run this a little longer during the boil, okay? A couple minutes, 2, 3, maybe 4 more minutes longer than usual, because we want to get as much of that water out as we can. Hey, look at that! We've made it to our rolling, simmer, and boil. So now it's time to add the acids. But I'm going to give this a quick little swirly swirl before we do that. All my plastic forks that I like to use for this are in the dishwasher. So, scratching up the ceramic we go. Also, hate that sound, but more importantly, I hate that feeling. It's like, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's like chalkboard nails. I don't know, I hate it. And away we go. I'm gonna throw it in there. Ah, shit. That was smart. Good job, Burns. You can do it, you idiot. That crystallized really quick. Alright, let's continue stirring this. Turn up the heat. We're at 4.5. I don't know if you can see it with the camera up there. Actually, hold on a minute. Ooh, baby. We're recording up there. You have no idea how many times I have forgotten to turn that camera on. Lots. Sometimes I'm just like, get man, I'm just gonna cut that out of the video. And I do. But this would have been 23 minutes of cutting out of the video. Mind you, 15 minutes of that has been pretty much blank nothingness. Me walking in circles around the kitchen island to get my steps in. Ah, it looks good with the steam coming up, doesn't it? I like it. Lets y'all know I'm actually working. All right, I'm gonna let that sit for a few minutes and then I'll start stirring again. Now we're cooking with heat. Normally I would agree with you, that's how we cook. But ceviche, we're not ready yet. We're gonna let this keep going for a couple more minutes. Keep that in mind. That's what you're gonna have to do at home if you're making them. If we pour it right now, it might turn out okay. However, there's probably going to be a little too much water and it can lead to issues. When it comes time to sand them, some people like to take them out of the mold and let them cure before sanding them, and then they steam them or get them wet and whatever, what have you. I'm trying to show you guys there's an easier, simpler process, and it's the way I do it, I promise you. Now, you don't have to sand them. Once they cure, they're gonna keep getting harder, staler, more stale. Still? Aw, jeez. Oh, jeez, Rick. Oh, jeez, Rick. Nope, that was more Mickey. Oh, man. A Mickey Mouse Rick and Morty spin-off, like mashup? Woo, that would be fun. Goofy as Rick, come on now, that'd be rad. Which, by the way, Team Goofy over here, he's been my favorite character ever since I was a wee little lad. See there, it's sticking. Woo, made it into the pot. That's good. You see how it's just dangling there like a bat hanging out of the bat cave? That is not what I have going on right now. Give it another minute of stirring and then we can pour. All right, looks like we're there. Yep, it has clearly thickened up. Now don't go by that alone, okay? There's other markers that tell you that it's ready, but just know I've let this thing boil for about 7 minutes now, okay? And that's total from the time we started lightly boiling on our simmering roll and boil to right now, 7, 8 minutes. So I'm gonna set up the pour station. I'll be right back. And away we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for now. I'll see you when it's time to sand. Bye.